ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਦੁਨੀਆ ਜਗਰੇ ਮੁੱਲ ਲੈਂਦੀ, ਪੂਰੀ ਫੇਰ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਪੈਂਦੀ, ਦੁਨੀਆ ਜਗਰੇ ਮੁੱਲ ਲੈਂਦੀ, ਪੂਰੀ ਫੇਰ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਪੈਂਦੀ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਏ ਲੱਖ ਤੇ ਕਰੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਜਿਤੇ ਭੇਜੇ ਦਾਤਾ ਜਾਵਾ, ਤੇਰਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸਦਾ ਹੀ ਖਾਵਾ, ਜਿਤੇ ਭੇਜੇ ਦਾਤਾ ਜਾਵਾ, ਤੇਰਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸਦਾ ਹੀ ਖਾਵਾ, ਮੈਂ ਪੁਤਲੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਹੱਥੇ ਦੌੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਕੋਨੇ ਕੋਨੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰਿਆ, ਨੂਰ ਤੇਰਾ ਹਾਰੇ ਤਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ, ਕੋਨੇ ਕੋਨੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰਿਆ, ਨੂਰ ਤੇਰਾ ਹਾਰੇ ਤਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਨਾ ਹੋਰ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਜਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਵਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਗਾਵਾ, ਤੇਰਾ ਸੰਦੇਸ਼ ਪੁਚਾਵਾ, ਜਿੱਤੇ ਭੇਜੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਗਾਵਾ, ਤੇਰਾ ਸੰਦੇਸ਼ ਪੁਚਾਵਾ, ਤੇਰਾ ਲਾਇਆ ਤਾਲਾ ਚਾਬੀ ਤੁਮਾਰੋ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਸੋਨਾ ਸ਼ਾਕਿਰ ਪਾਲੋਇਆ ਜਾਏ ਬਤੇ ਦਿਆਲ, ਸੋਨਾ ਸ਼ਾਕਿਰ ਪਾਲੋਇਆ ਜਾਏ ਬਤੇ ਦਿਆਲ, ਪਿਆਰਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਉਹ ਜੇ ਚੰਦ ਤੇ ਚਕੋਰ ਦਾਤਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਲੋੜ 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 ਦਾਤਿਆ। O giver, I need no one except you. The world fights, but still does not become successful, no matter if they get millions of billions. O giver, wherever you send me, I go there. I always eat what you give. I am the puppet, in your hand is the string. I wandered in every corner. I got your radiance everywhere. I saw no one else except you. Whatever wherever I go, I sing of you, I carry your message. You have installed the lock and yourself turn the key. Beautiful Emperor Kirpal has become gracious on Ajaib. May my love become like that of the moon and the moonbird. So this is the bhajan. We want to dive deep into this satsang. Tu Marco lo capisci l'inglese?
Luca.
Lo capisci l'inglese? Sì. So this is a beautiful bhajan by Sant Jaib Singh, in which he explains the way he is, the way he relates with his master, and how precious and important his master is for him. You see, with Sant Jaib, you experience what is this total dedication and devotion to his master. There was his characteristic, there was his being, there was his life. Total dedication to quest for truth and realizing truth. So with him we experienced what is total dedication to the path, to the master, to what we want to realize. He was a complete mystic, a very holy man, a man with great love and devotion for his master. And this exudated from all of his being. So we're lucky enough to spend time with him and going through this adventure, spiritual adventure for, like myself, for 20 years. I experienced so many beautiful, profound, and intoxicating experiences in relating with him. First of all, for the way he was, and then for the way also we related to him. There was a complete involvement and a complete commitment from most of us whom I have known to him and to his story. When we talk about madness of love or intoxicating love, that's what we experience with him. He was very fond of his master, and we were very fond of him. So, his person for us was God personified. That's how we took it. That's how I took it, and many other friends of mine took it. So we were very attentive to whatever he said, to the way he said, and to whatever he did. So we always try to emulate him. His personality was very influential, was very charismatic. So we youngster associating with him, we try to emulate him in all possible ways. So it was a very profound experience that I had with this man, with this God man. And as I say, I never took him as a human being. And his words for me were the words of God. And whatever he said, I really stick to it. And I really try to put into practice whatever he told me. When I think back at the way I related to him, I wonder how it's possible that I was so devoted to this person and how seriously I took whatever he said. I never questioned whatever he told me. And I thought that this is the way of following a spiritual path. This is the way of associating with the Master, that you take the Master as God personified, and whatever he says, it's pure gold for you. But I see it's very rare, this kind of attitude, this kind of involvement and commitment. Most of the people like to do whatever they want. And the words of the Master for them is relatively important, not to say anything worse. So if we take the Master this way, then we won't go too far on the path. If you take the path this way, then we won't go too far on it. It must be a complete dedication, complete involvement, a life-safe anchor. Then it really works. Then we may experience wonderful things. Then we may experience what the mystics talk about. Otherwise it becomes words that we read in books, but they don't become part of our life. Very nice to hear the stories of any master associating with his disciples, or disciples of a master associating with him, or with her, whatever it is. But if we don't have ourselves those experiences, they don't mean anything for us. We don't know what it really means. And there are so many beautiful examples of great acts of devotion, stories of devotion and love for between a master and his disciples. You can read so many. And they are always inspiring. They are always encouraging. They give us a hint of how it may be. But then we have to live that kind of situation, kind of condition ourselves. Otherwise, it stays as an encouraging fact described by others, but which we don't know, really. It's not part of our experience. So to me, the mystical path, spiritual path, is a path of total dedication, total giving of oneself without reserves. Then we may experience the totality of the path. Otherwise, according to how much we give to it, that much we get. So we want a total something, 100%. We have to give 100%. According to the percentage we dedicate to the path, according to how intensely we take it, that's what we get. Because this is the law of karma, no, isn't it? Give and take, cause and effect, wanting and having, according to the degree we want. So when we read Sanji's songs, they seem to be a bit repetitive. Most of them describe more or less this intense love for God and for the Master, this intensity of treading the path, this pain of separation. That's what it talks about in all of his bhajans. Because that's what he knew. And what attracted me so much to him when I met him, it was this seeing a man who is really caught up in the path, you know, that his whole body, his whole person exudates this love for God and for his Master. And having fallen so much in love with Master Kirpal, when I met him, once he left the body, when he died, I was hoping so much to meet a person that would be so madly in love with him, and that could tell so many beautiful stories of his relation with Master Kirpal. And in the people I met before meeting Sanji, there was not this kind of love and devotion for Master Kirpal. There was some intensity was there, but not this total intensity. So when I met Sanji, I was very happy to meet somebody who is so totally absorbed, drenched in this love for God and for Master Kirpal. And everything he said, it was so fascinating for me, so catching. So I was totally involved, and I fully fell in love with this person, whom I saw to be such a holy, pure man, completely detached from the world and only directed towards God. And I must say, it's not so easy to find people like that, even among masters. You don't find so many who are so really deeply dived into this. Their whole life consists of this and nothing else. And everything about him, it was of this kind. The place where he lived and the simple life that he led. Some of you have been in Rajasthan, but the ashram which you can see now is not the ashram which was in the beginning when I met Sanji. It was totally different. It was like being back 2,000 years ago. Like Bible's times, really. That's how it was. So extremely simple. Desert life. Huts made of mud and straw. No electricity, no running water, no conveniences of any kind. And we young people that had met Master Kirpal at the end of his life, we were so fascinated by this lifestyle. Because most of us came from the counterculture time. So we wanted something different than what this culture may offer. And Sanji was really a revolutionary person in this sense. He was really out of this world completely. He was a kind of St. Francis of our time. He wasn't poor, but he didn't have more than what he needed, what was strictly needed. And his message was very intense. You have to realize God in this lifetime. That's the purpose of your life. So do your best. So when we listened to his satsang, we were so absorbed in looking at him and listening to his words. There were a bunch of very young people coming from all over the world. He was not known to anybody. Nobody knew him. He was living in the entire desert of Rajasthan. How could people from America, from Australia, from Africa, from Europe, South America, find out about this person? There was no internet. There was no all these media and social platforms. Nothing of these. Now it's very easy to spread your news. But at the time there was nothing of this. So how could it be that a person like this, living so far away from everybody and everything, in such a lifestyle, could be known all over the world? This is just because of God's will. All his work was organized by God, or Master Kripala could say. So when something is meant to happen with somebody, it happens. If it's not meant to happen, it doesn't happen. People try so much, all these gurus nowadays, all these teachers that are around, they try so much all possible ways to make their story known to the world. He didn't do anything of this. It just happened by itself. And that's the beauty of it. And a person like this then, who travels all over the world, Europe, North America, South America, and thousands of people go to him and listen to his satsang and to his teachings. That's a wonderful something. That's something which just happens because of God's will. Because God chooses a human Paul through whom to work. And dispense his blessings, his grace. So in this song it says, I need no one except you. And this is very true. All his life was moving in this direction. I don't need anybody but God. And if we have God, we have everything. If you don't have God, we have nothing, just misery. Doesn't matter if we are millionaires or billionaires, trillionaires, we are miserable beings, full of fears, full of anxiety, full of mania of all kinds. Do you think these wealthy people, they are happy people? They are miserable people. As miserable as those who have nothing. Sanji used to say, the only happy people are the holy people. Those who are in tune with God. They are the only happy people. Otherwise, both rich and poor, learn and unlearn, good health or bad health, they are all miserable. They all suffer from so many diseases. From lust, anger, greed, attachment, egoism, vanity, jealousy, hate, possessivity. The mind of people is full with these emotions. So we want to get rid of all of these. We want to be happy people. We want to be people who are just fulfilled in themselves. They don't need anything. Happiness and joy must rise from inside of us. It doesn't have to come because of an object that we get, present. As far as our joy depends on these, we will never be really happy. Because life is very tricky, and we will always be disappointed. So in life, it's good to have what's really needed, to have a dignified life, and then all the energies, all our efforts have to go towards raising up, towards uplifting our consciousness and experiencing something valuable that makes our life precious. So if you're lucky enough to first of all have an inclination in this direction, to meet a master, to go on a path, then we should not behave with this master, with this path, the way we behave with everything else. Because this is the society of use and throw away. This is a very superficial society. We want to be free of bonds, but we will never be free. We are bound by everything. Maulana Rumi says, if you don't run away from freedom, your egoistic personal freedom, you will never be free. So people like to think, I choose myself, I decide myself about my life. That's stupidity. It's good to learn from somebody who knows. It's good to take the advice of somebody who is more wise than us. It's good to get help in life from those who can help. Because by ourselves, we can only make a mess of our life. At least. I can talk about myself. If I didn't meet Master Kirpal and then Sanji, my life would be a mess like that of everyone else. If it has become something precious, something valuable, it's because of my association with both Master Kirpal and Sanji. So I ran away from my own freedom and I became free. So if you want to be free, run away from your own freedom. Bow down your head to somebody who is worthy worshipping. Accept the authority of somebody who has authority. And listen and learn. That's the way to freedom. So we can make our life as something special, precious, valuable, or we can make it just an ordinary life in which we eat, we go to toilet, sometimes we are fine, good health, sometimes we get sick, sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are depressed and desperate, but no real purpose. That's the miserable thing I see in most of the people. They have no purpose in life. What's their purpose? Eating and some few enjoyments, and that's all. But we are human beings. We can realize something great. We have a great potential, a divine potential. We have God inside of us. We are divine beings. Let's become that. Divine beings. And if our mind tells us it's a dream, you will never succeed. We don't listen to the mind, because the mind is the bad guy, you know, always telling you the wrong thing. Inside of us there is a good guy and a bad guy. The good guy is God and the Master, and the bad guy is the mind. The mind always trying to mislead and spoiling what is good, making bad what is nice. So we don't listen to this bad guy. The monkey man inside of us. The barking dog. But why God did put this crazy monkey inside of us? What's the purpose of it? It is to test our intentions. Because when you want to move in a certain direction, if it's easy, then it's not valuable. There must be somebody putting sticks between your legs all the time. Then if you win the battle, then you are really valuable. So the mind is a testing factor inside of us. If we win the test, then we are special. If we don't win, then we stay in the bondage of the mind, in the limits of the mind. So it's an enemy, but it's a friend. Because it's going to test all of our pretenses, all of our truth and fake truths, all of our wrong convictions. What is truth, what is not truth, is going to crumble down. The mind will make it crumble down. What is truth, the mind doesn't have the power to crumble it down. So let's move towards the truth by living a real, truthful life. And these words are not told by you, but somebody who has done totally something else than what I'm saying. It's 50 years I'm moving in this direction. So I know what I'm talking about. It's my experience. I'm not a priest that tells, do what I say, but don't do what I do. That's what the priests say. But I can say most of the gurus are just the same. You can do what they say, but don't do what they do, because they are more worldly than you. They are more attached and craving for power and money than you are. That's what I see, you know. I see so many devotees of these so-called gurus who are better than the guru. You might think it's crazy what I say, but this is what I see from my point of view. So anyway, I hope the satsang was inspiring, interesting for you. I thank Sanji for this very beautiful song and the message that the song conveys. So let's take it to our heart and put it into practice in our life, if you want to move on towards what we are aiming at.